Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, and good morning to all you folks right here on AM 790 in Memphis. Shelby McCall, of course, is our show producer. You can listen to us on AM 790 and 92.9 HD FM 9 to 10:30 every Saturday morning. Of course, we're on in Brownsville on 1520 AM, 95.3 FM from 6 to 7:30, and in Jackson, Tennessee on News Talk 101.5 from 6:30 to 8 as we roll toward our 23rd anniversary coming up in August. And it's always good.
Wow.
It's always good, Ron Wong, to have a new name, a new person on Outdoors with Larry Ray in all these years,
and somebody from Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin.
Yes, Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin.
I don't know that we've ever had anybody from there.
No, I doubt if I don't know if he's ever been to Memphis before either. So we may share.
He's been close.
He's been close, hasn't he? That's for sure. He's been to Wheeler Lake. That's for sure.
Florence, Alabama.
Yes,
Decatur, Alabama.
That's right. We're glad to talk to Adam Rasmussen, coming off a big win at Wheeler Lake in Decatur, Alabama. Good morning, Adam.
How are you guys? Good morning.
We're doing great. I know back in May when you sprung this thing 3 days before my birthday, when I turned 80, that's hard to believe. You almost won my weight here, just about. No, you didn't. You had a lot more than that. But congratulations on that big win down there, buddy. I know it's probably been a long haul, and to get you where you are, I read one of the quotes that now I'm going to the Bassmaster Classic. It's a dream come true.
Absolutely.
You've had almost a month, not quite a month, to live up to this now. So talk about the reaction since that win, Adam.
Honestly, I've been so stinking busy. I guide full-time up in Sturgeon Bay, too, and I got home and immediately started guiding, and I've been doing that every day. And now I'm down in Oklahoma getting ready for the next one. So I really haven't had a lot of time to really sit back and think about it. But I'm sure we'll get some time about November when things start slowing down.
Yeah.
But you know you've punched a ticket, right? I mean, it's it is a dream come true. Like that's a dream for a lot of anglers in this country, and I'm super thrilled to be going to my first classic. I've never been to one. I've never worked one. Hear that, Ron? He's never been to one. He's never walked one.
And I think he only wanted to go to one if he was in it.
Is that what that's what I think I heard a quote from, right? I mean, if you were going to go, you wanted to be there as a competitor, right?
Absolutely. Me and one of my teammates, traveling partners, Brad Leitner, were talking about it this spring.
Yeah.
And he went to the Classic this last year. It's the first one he's ever been to. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you got to come to the Classic. It's so cool. And I'm like, I'll win one and then I'll go there. And it happened. So we're going to the Classic.
Yeah. And, it was just so happens this past year in Knoxville, they had record crowds. So I'm sure that he was entertained and excited to see what goes on. Adam, you won this tournament on Wheeler Lake, and you won it on really a community hole.
Yeah.
Decatur Flats.
A lot of boats out there.
There's a lot of people that fished, and of course the last day, the field's cut
10
down.
Boats, 10
but
boats.
You weren't able to fish your prime fish every day. Tell our listeners a little bit about how day one went, day two, and then finally day three when you got a chance to fish your prime holes on Decatur Flats.
Yeah, so starting out day one, I started on a little shad spawn out on the flats, just on, a high spot, hard bottom and grass around it.
Uh-huh.
And it was the day before the tournament. I just happened to drive through there, and I was marking up a few more things before practice ended.
Yeah. And
there's a lot of shad around there, and it looked real good. There was some grass, and it was kind of not obvious. I was probably a quarter mile from the cluster of guys fishing.
Cluster, yeah, 8 to 10 boats. 8 to 10 boats, I think you said. Yeah.
More than that at some point in time there on that flat. Yeah.
So what did you think when you saw all those boats?
I'm just going to do my own thing, and I caught a 3.5, and that was the biggest one I saw all week, and I was pretty stoked about that. I'm like, all right, like I finally caught a nice one. I had a terrible practice. Oh. And I caught that one. I caught a few other smaller ones. I ended up calling out later in the day. But so that ended, lasted maybe a half hour. And then I ran upriver, and I had a bunch of grass that had a lot of fish in it. I just didn't know, how big they were going to be.
Right.
Finished off my limit. And I think I left there. I had 10.5 pounds. Mm-hmm. And they're all just, pound and a quarter, pound and a half fish. And I'm like, all right, well, this isn't going to cut it, but I got a limit. It's a long season. There's points.
That's right. Yeah.
So then I went down, headed back down towards the flats, and I had some ledges that looked really good, and never caught anything on them during practice, and pulled up to the first one, and I caught a 6.3.
Wow!
And then I caught several others, and I got up to I think I weighed 19.3 on day one.
Yes.
Yeah. And I left them biting. We went in early, and then day two, kind of did the same shad spawn deal, and it got a little cooler that night, so that wasn't going on. And then I ran out to some of those ledges. I caught a 3.5, and that was it. And it was kind of windy on day two, and the water was getting dirty. And
real windy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought maybe that was hurting it. So then I ran all the way down to the bottom end of the lake. I caught a 1-2, and that was the only bite I had, and it was 11:30.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I need to make something happen here.
Yes.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to fish those ledges, and then I'm going to go up to the grass and just fill my limit out.
See what happens. Yeah.
Yep. And I pulled up on where I caught the 6.3 on day one, and I made 4 casts. I caught 4 good ones.
That'll stoke you. Yeah.
And then I looked over the side of the boat, and they quit pulling current, and that was the end of that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then day 3 with 10 boats, there's 10 of you left. The competition is tight, but you get to pick where you're going a little bit better. So talk about the pressures of trying to get I don't know if you thought 54 pounds would win or not, but that's a pretty good total. But talk about day 3.
Yeah, I knew the night before, I was going to have to catch 22 pounds if I wanted to win.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was actually talking to my wife. She was going to book tickets to come down, and I'm like, honestly, I don't. There's a chance, but I'm not that confident that it's going to happen, but it could happen.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up morning of day 3. I walked outside. It was kind of muggy and warm, and I'm like, okay, now I know what I'm going to do. And I knew where I was going to go, and being that there's only 10 boats, you got a lot more water to fish.
Yes, you do.
You have some stuff to yourself. And I pulled up on the first shell bar, and I caught one on my third cast.
Third cast.
A few casts later, I had a 4.2.
Yes.
And once I saw that fish, I knew that there's my chance to catch 22 pounds is right there. I need to catch as many as I can, as fast as I can, because it's not going to last long.
Mm-hmm.
And 8:09, I caught a 5 3/4.
Oh God!
He
remembers the time even. You get this? 8:09. He knows his time.
Oh
yeah. Go ahead. I know.
I'll never forget it, because 8:09 is when I put that one in, and that won me the tournament. And I never upgraded one after 8:09. You
didn't after 8:09. You had all that time frame to go. Again, we're talking to Adam Rasmussen, coming off his big Bassmaster Open win on Wheeler Lake, and I got to ask you that you basically you grew up as a walleye fisherman, undoubtedly. I mean, you got a guide service on Sturgeon Bay. And you're relatively haven't been at the bass side that much in your career. So talk about the transition from walleye to this for you, Adam.
Yeah, I grew up as a walleye fisherman, used to fish some walleye tournaments in my younger years. guided a lot of walleyes and muskies.
Uh-huh.
And I think the biggest thing that I've translated from that to bass fishing is food, forage. Like, walleyes are one of the dumbest fish there are, but
they sure eat good. I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, yeah, they move so much that you constantly have to follow their forage.
Right.
Stay on top of them.
Yeah.
And I think you can put a lot of that into perspective with these southern fisheries as well.
Yeah.
And bass and bait. I mean, they have to eat to stay alive too. And if you're around the shad, you're around the bass. They're not very far behind.
Yeah,
so,
they're going to stay with the chow wagon.
The chow wagon, yeah. That he's familiar with that.
Yeah.
So, do you have mentors you look up to when you switched over to? You said, I wanted to do this. What made you decide to make that decision?
I don't know. Everybody watches. Even if you're not a diehard bass fisherman, I know a lot of walleye guys that watch. The Bassmaster Elite Series events, the classics.
Yes, yeah.
And it was always just, man, that'd be cool to get to that stage.
Yeah.
And I'm finally to the point in my life where, it's not cheap. It's expensive. And I finally got to the point where I have enough of the right people behind me. I'm set up financially to do it. So 3 years ago, I started fishing some of the opens. I did a couple divisions. Last year I did all 9.
You did all
this
9.
Year I'm doing all 9. My goal now is I want to make the elite.
You want to make the elites. That's right.
That's the elite.
But you're going to be at the Classic next year in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I look forward to meeting you, Adam, in person there, and we'll be doing some on-site interviews with you when you're there, and I will tell you, you will be amazed and also excited to see what that experience is going to be like, because the bass fans show up.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and that's March 22nd through the 24th, Grand Lake, the Cherokees, and Adam, your name is on the list, buddy, and so that's something they can't take away from you. We appreciate you joining us on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and you got 5 more tournaments to go? I mean, there's 9.
Eufaula's up next, I think, in Oklahoma, right?
Is that right, Adam? What's next?
Yep. Next one is Lake Eufaula, Oklahoma.
Big
and
lake.
Then we go up to St. Lawrence, which is should be right at home for me.
Yeah,
that's Great Lakes smallmouth fishing.
Yeah.
And then Ozarks, Watts Bar.
He's got it.
Harris Chain. I'm looking forward to it.
All right,
It'll be a fun rest of the season.
Tell our listeners how they can keep up with you, Adam. You got a Facebook page and everything like that.
He's got a website.
Yeah, a website. How can they keep up with it?
Follow me on social media, Adam Rasmussen. My website is www.rasmussenoutdoors.com. That's got all my guiding stuff on there, links to social media. Basically, you can follow everything I do through that website. It'll get you to the right place to follow me in my travels. And swing by my Facebook page, give us a like and follow. And
well, we appreciate you taking time to be with us, and we look forward to talking to you again down the road. Again, congratulations, Adams, and we got your number now. Okay, all right.
Sounds good, guys. Looking forward to the next time.
All right, buddy. Have a great day. All right.
You too. Thanks again for having me.
Yes. All right. Let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Be right back.